Have you ever noticed that the quietest person in the room somehow knows everything? They don't talk much. They don't interrupt. They don't try to be the center of attention. But somehow, they see everything. They notice when someone's smile is fake. They notice when energy shifts. They remember things you said weeks ago. And here's the dangerous part. Most people think they're shy. Most people think they're weak. Most people think they don't understand what's going on. They're wrong. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who stay quiet but observe everything. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last habit is the most powerful one. If you miss it, you'll completely misunderstand why quiet people are often the smartest ones in the room. Let's get into it. In a world where everyone is trying to talk louder, post more, and be seen constantly, there's a different type of person. The silent observer. They don't need attention. They don't need validation. They don't need to speak just to fill silence. Instead, they watch. And while others are busy trying to impress, they're busy collecting information. The truth is, quiet people aren't empty. They're processing. So what's really going on inside their minds? Let's break it down. Point 1. They listen more than they speak. Most people listen to reply. Quiet observers listen to understand. When someone is talking, they're not thinking about what they'll say next. They're reading tone, body language, emotion. They catch inconsistencies. They notice when words don't match actions. And because they don't interrupt often, people reveal more around them. People feel strangely comfortable talking to them. Why? Because silence feels safe. And while everyone else is competing to speak, the observer is collecting data. That's power. And this leads to the second trait. Point 2. They read energy instantly. Quiet observers are extremely aware of emotional shifts. They can walk into a room and immediately feel tension. They can tell when someone is jealous, when someone is insecure, when someone is pretending. They might not say anything about it, but they see it. And here's why. When you're not busy trying to perform, your brain has more space to notice patterns. They study people without making it obvious. And because they study quietly, people underestimate them, which is exactly what gives them the advantage. But there's something deeper. Point 3. They think before they react. Loud people react. Quiet people respond. There's a difference. When drama happens, they don't jump in immediately. When someone insults them, they don't explode. When emotions rise, they stay calm. Not because they're weak, but because they're calculating. They understand that reactions reveal weakness. Silence creates mystery, and mystery creates power. When they finally speak, people listen, because they don't waste words. And that leads to something even more interesting. Point 4. They remember everything. Quiet observers have strong memory for details. They remember how you treated them the first time you met. They remember promises. They remember disrespect. They remember kindness, too. Because when you're always observing, your brain stores patterns. And over time, they build a mental file on people. They know who's genuine, who's fake, who's loyal, who's temporary. They may not confront you, but they adjust their distance silently. And this next trait is what truly separates them. Point 5. They protect their inner world. Quiet people don't share everything, not because they don't trust you, but because they understand the value of privacy. They know that the less people know about you, the less they can use against you. They move in silence. They plan in silence. They build in silence. And when success finally shows, it shocks everyone, because no one saw it coming. And this is why the last habit was important. If you thought quiet meant insecure, you missed everything. Hidden truth. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Quiet observers aren't always quiet because they lack confidence. Sometimes, they're quiet because they've outgrown small talk. They've learned that not every battle deserves energy. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every person deserves access. Silence is control. and control is strength. But there's another side to this. Sometimes, quiet observers have been hurt before. They learned that talking too much exposes vulnerability, so they adapted. They became watchers instead of speakers. And that adaptation made them emotionally intelligent. They don't trust words easily. They trust patterns, and patterns never lie. Conclusion. So what does all this mean for you? It means that being quiet is not a weakness. It can be your greatest strength. After watching this video, you'll understand how to listen more strategically, read people more accurately, control your reactions, protect your energy, and build silent confidence. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to dominate conversations to dominate situations. Sometimes, the most dangerous person in the room is the one who says nothing. So next time you see someone quiet, don't underestimate them. And maybe start developing these traits yourself. Because when you master observation, you master people. And when you master people, you master the room. If this made you see quiet people differently, stay tuned, because we're breaking down more powerful psychology in the next video. Stay sharp, stay observant, and remember, silence isn't empty, it's full of answers.